So you've reached that point in your life where you need to get into a sedan, and senseless spending no longer makes sense. Well, that's where the Kia Optima SX comes into play. Kia vehicles are now getting very attractive. Look at the Soul or the Forte Coupe, for example. They are absolutely cool looking cars. Today though, all eyes are on the Optima SX. At $33,995, it's not cheap. But at the same time, the list of features put on a roll of paper could hit a pedestrian's head from the top of the CN Tower. The features are that long. It comes with stability control, cruise control, dual 12-volt power outlet, auxiliary in, USB port with iPod compatibility, navigation, rear view camera, front and rear heated and cooled seats, all-around electronic windows, dual sunroof, 6 airbags, ABS with brake assist, independent suspension, front and rear vented disc brakes, armrest with a storage compartment, chilled glove box for your drinks, 2 cup holders, electric mirrors, compass integrated into the auto-dimming rear view mirror that also has 3 programmable garage door remotes, xenon headlights, and smart key keyless entry.
So let's say you're driving along, you receive a phone call. What do? Easy. Hit the little green button with the phone on it. It'll answer the phone, and when you're done, hang it up with the little red phone button. Really easy to use. Kia's made it pretty smart and very accessible to answer the button. Volume control is nice, got a nice, easy to grasp button for the volume, for the stereo, and that's the next thing I want to talk about, the stereo. Man, is it great! You can crank this thing up and you'll feel like you're driving that 1992 IROC Z you've always dreamed about. This is great! Who would have thought about putting a stereo like this in a Kia? I mean, I don't even feel like I'm driving a Kia. This is awesome. It does get loud. For this purpose, I won't turn it up.
The 2012 Kia Optima SX is simply beautiful. It has all-around sporty skirts, side grills like an M3, 18-inch alloys that look like they were nicked from some kind of prototype, a slick and curvy body with thick rear pillars, LED tail lights, and HID headlamps. Even the windshield water sprayers are nicely tucked under the hood. All these features compose a sexy sports sedan with attention to detail many other manufacturers would love to have in their fleet. The interior is no disappointment either. The dash is driver-centric, forming a cockpit since it's tilted towards the driver, and somehow it reminds me of older Saabs and BMWs. The huge LCD display for the sat-nav in the top middle of the dash is an eye-catcher, and the number of buttons around it are a temptation for everyone to play with. The instrument panel is nicely designed and hosts another smaller color LCD display for the trip computer. It illuminates in a very fancy way, but surprisingly, the lower part where the light indicators are looks like it's a part left over from the 80s. The steering wheel is fat and wrapped in soft leather, and mounted on it are the controls for the radio, cruise control, Bluetooth phone controls, the trip computer, and finally the Eco Mode button, which, when pressed, decreases the throttle response and helps you save on gas. The most impressive controls, though, are behind the steering wheel and are the floppy paddle gearbox lever. The quality of the materials found inside the cabin can be divided into 2 separate categories. The upper materials used from the door panels all the way across the dash are a high-quality, soft-to-the-touch material, and there is even a part around the main console that is covered with stitched leather. The rest are hard, cheaper plastic panels that are well put together though, and the finish between them is not bad at all. The ergonomic score pretty high on this Kia too. The seats look great with a combination of vented fabric and leather. They are very comfy to sit in, but they do not offer as much side support as needed for this edition. All this in a family car with a cabin that provides enough space for 4 or potentially 5 people, and combined with a nice view through the dual sunroof makes this Kia a very pleasant long-distance cruiser. The all-around independent suspension is tuned towards the sporty side and has teamed up with stronger anti-roll bars for this occasion. It remains very smooth and very comfortable on the road, a price you pay once you decide to go hard on the gas. Torque steer makes an appearance like a Hollywood star at low speeds, and understeer with a stability control off is like herpes. You just have to learn to live with it. When on, the stability control is so aggressive, it leaves absolutely no room to play, but the result is a very safe car, I must say. The electric, variously assisted steering provides good feedback and is well weighted, but the variability becomes noticeable at some points and can be a little annoying. Overall, the suspension controls the body adequately. There is no drama in the corners and all remains safe as long as the stability control is on. I do get the feeling that Optima's handling is a bit let down by the mediocre Nexen tires it came with. The brakes work very progressively, there is no on or off feeling as there used to be with previous Korean-made cars, and they are very capable of stopping the car under any circumstance. One thing we did notice during the harsh part of our test was brake fade, but in the real world, you will never do a 0-120-0 test 3 times in a row. For the record though, it did a lot faster than a current Mercedes C300. All that is due to the sweet power plant under the hood. This alone is one of the reasons to buy the car, for the turbocharged 4-cylinder direct injection 2.0 liter engine. It requires regular 87 octane fuel, around 7.7 liters of it on the highway and 10.9 in the city per 100 kilometers. It produces 274 brake horsepower and launches its Kia from a standstill to 100 in 6.7 seconds, while the top speed is nearly 255 kilometers per hour. That's an estimated number. The engine is quiet and refined, pulls well from low revs, and turbo lag is very slight. The powerful motor that spins the front wheel is combined with a very smooth 6-speed automatic gearbox, which also has sequential mode. This can be achieved by either pushing the lever back and forth or via the paddles that we mentioned before. So this was a very pleasant surprise. Kia has made a brilliant family car which is definitely worth looking at, especially since it wipes away most of the competitors when it comes to performance and costs significantly less for what it offers.